Auzubillahi minash-shaytanir-rajim. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Dear students, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. तो कल से हमने लेक्चर नंबर 1 चैप्टर 5 स्टार्ट किया है. Class 9 subject mathematics. Name of the chapter is lines and angles and our topic is introduction to lines and angles. और पिछले लेक्चर में, that was lecture number 1 part 1, उसमें हमने बात की थी. थोड़ा सा मैं रिवाइंड करता हूँ, करूँगा. तो उसमें हम बात कर रहे थे कि जो ये लाइन्स एंड एंगल्स है चैप्टर, ये असल में ताल्लुक़ रखता है ज्योमेट्री के साथ. तो ज्योमेट्री जो है टर्म, ये दो ग्रीक वर्ड्स से निकला है. एक तो जियो, फिर मेट्रॉन. जियो का मतलब हुआ अर्थ और मेट्रॉन का मतलब हुआ मेजरमेंट. दैट मीन्स ज्योमेट्री मीन्स मेजरमेंट ऑफ अर्थ. इट्स नॉट ओनली measurement of earth, it's actually measurement of the various features present on the earth, such as mountains, seas, deserts, rivers, forests, etc. Now in mathematics we will define geometry as geometry means study of that branch of mathematics which deals with shapes and properties of two-dimensional and three-dimensional फिगर्स. ज्योमेट्री जो है ये मैथमेटिक्स का वो ब्रांच है जिसमें हम जानकारी हासिल करते हैं जो ताल्लुक़ रखता है शेप्स और प्रॉपर्टीज, शक्ल और खासियत किनकी, टू डायमेंशनल एंड थ्री डायमेंशनल फिगर्स. यानी इनसे ताल्लुक़ रखता है. टू डायमेंशनल और थ्री डायमेंशनल फिगर से जो ये ताल्लुक़ रखता है, जो इनकी शेप्स और प्रॉपर्टीज है. यानी टू डायमेंशनल फिगर्स और थ्री डायमेंशनल फिगर्स की जो शेप्स एंड प्रॉपर्टीज है, उनके बारे में जानकारी हासिल करना, उसको हम कहते हैं ज्योमेट्री. आगे बढ़ते हैं. फिर हमने बात की थी टू डायमेंशनल फिगर्स. टू डायमेंशनल फिगर्स जिसमें रेक्टेंगल आता है, स्क्वायर, सर्कल, triangle. These are two-dimensional figures. First, their shapes, and second, their properties. Similarly, if we have triangle, it has a shape. It has three sides. It's a polygon of three sides. Rectangle is a polygon of four sides. Square is a polygon of four sides. Okay, this has its own shape. Rectangle has its own shape. Triangle has its own shape. Circle has its own shape. And similarly, rectangle has its own properties. Square has its own properties. Triangle has its own properties. Circle has its own properties. For example, circle has diameter. A triangle does not have diameter. Okay. The sum of three angles of a triangle is 180 degree. The sum of four angles of rectangle is 360. So their shapes are different, their properties are different. When we study about the shapes and properties of these figures, we say we are studying geometry. We are dealing with geometry. And I also said in previous lecture that line segment, say this line segment is 5 centimeter. This line segment is actually a part of rectangle. This line segment is actually a part of square. This line segment is also a part of this triangle. This line segment is also a part of this diameter. So we can say that this line segment is also concerned with geometry. This also deals with geometry because this line segment is a part of rectangle, and rectangle is a two-dimensional figure. Its shape and properties deals with geometry. Since line segment is a part of it, it also deals with geometry. Similar is the case with line. Since line is linked to line segment is a part of line. So line is also connected to line segment, and line segment is connected to two-dimensional figures, and two-dimensional figures are concerned with geometry. So we can say that line, the study of line, also deals with geometry. Similar is the case with ray. Ray is a part of line. Ray is linked to line. Line is linked to line segment. Line segment is linked to rectangle, square, triangle. So all these figures, all these shapes, and all their properties have a dealing with geometry. All these form a part of geometry. When we study about these figures, we are actually studying geometry. We are actually dealing with geometry. Okay, now moving forward, today we are going to have a look. Today we are going to discuss about the three-dimensional figures, because geometry also deals with three-dimensional figures. We have a three-dimensional figure. This is known as cuboid. Okay, cuboid. It has length, breadth, height. It has length, it has breadth, and it has height. So it has three dimensions: length, breadth, height. So we can say it is a three-dimensional figure. Similar is the case with cube. It also has length, breadth, height. Although length, breadth, and height of this figure are same, suppose if length is 2 centimeter, breadth will also be 2 centimeter, and height will also be 2 centimeter. This is cube. This is cube. Okay, this is cuboid. This is cube. This is cylinder. Cylinder is also a three-dimensional figure. Cone is also a three-dimensional figure, and sphere, just like a ball, is also a three-dimensional figure. When we see these figures, when we study about these shapes, and also we study about their properties, For example, the property of cuboid is that its volume is equal to length into breadth into height, isn't it? Yeah, or we say the volume of cylinder is pi r square h. These are their properties. They have their own property. Cuboid has its own property. Cube has its own property. Sphere has its own property. Cone has its own property. Cylinder has its own property. And also the shapes are also different. When we study about the shapes and properties of these figures, three-dimensional figures, we are actually dealing with geometry. So geometry, it has a dealing with three-dimensional and two-dimensional figures. And we must say here that the greatest contribution in geometry, the greatest contribution has been from a mathematician. His name is Euclid. Although there are many mathematicians such as Thales is there, Pythagoras is there, who has given the Pythagoras theorem. You may remember Pythagoras theorem: hypotenuse square is equal to base square plus perpendicular square. So these are also famous mathematicians. Thales was also a famous mathematician, but we can say the most famous mathematician was Euclid. He was born in 325 BC and he died in 265 BC. BC means before Christ. So Euclid, a mathematician, his contribution has been the greatest contribution because he talked about everything. He gave ideas about everything. For example, he gave ideas about the rectangle. that opposite sides are equal and parallel. He also gave the concept that each angle of rectangle is 90 degree. This Euclid also gave concept about square. He also gave concept about triangle. Sum of three angles of triangle is 180. This was also given by Euclid. Euclid also gave the concept of scalene triangle. That means all the three sides are different from one another. He also gave the concept about isosceles triangle, in which two sides are equal and one is different. He also gave the concept about equilateral triangle. That means all the three sides are equal. He has also given the concept of circle. Euclid also gave the concept of circle. He also gave the concept about diameter, radius, circumference. All the concepts, most of the concepts have been given by Euclid. Not only that, the concept about line segment, the concept about line, the concept about ray, even the concept of a point. Even the concept of point was given by Euclid. He also gave us the concept of cuboid, cube, cylinder, cone, sphere, their properties. There has been greatest contribution by Euclid. So he is not an ordinary mathematician. His contribution is great. So Euclid is known as father of geometry. Who is known as father of geometry? Euclid is known as father of geometry because his contribution is the greatest of all. He has given many concepts about three-dimensional figures and two-dimensional figures. So he will be called as father of geometry, Euclid. Okay. Now we will move forward. Now, coming to our chapter, that is lines and angles, chapter number 5, lines and angles. Let us talk about line. Now, what is a line? Okay, we must know what line is. See, I have put a point here, another point, another point, another point, another point, another point. I have put here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points, and now I am going to join these points. I have joined these 6 points. I have joined these 6 points and I have got a figure. मुझे एक यहाँ पे शक्ल एक बन गई है. इसको हम कहेंगे straight figure. How many points I joined? I joined 6 points and I have got a straight figure. Now, these points, these 6 points are called as collinear points. These 6 points will be called as collinear points because when I joined these collinear points, I got a straight figure. Let's take another example. 1, 2, 3 points. Okay, and 4th point I will put it here. Okay, now I will join this point 1 with point 2, point 2 with point 3, and point 3 with point 4. I have joined these 4 points. Okay, do we get a straight figure? Is this a straight figure? No, this is not a straight figure. This is not a straight figure. This is not a straight figure. This is a straight figure because we have joined collinear points. Joining of collinear points makes a straight figure. Now, I have joined 4 points here, but this is not a straight figure because these points are not collinear. Not collinear points. Not collinear points. तो जब स्ट्रेट फिगर बने तो इसका मतलब हुआ वो कोलिनियर पॉइंट से बना हुआ है. ठीक. अब हम बात करेंगे लाइन की. ठीक है, चलिए जी. इसी को हम लाइन कहते हैं. आपने सुना होगा, इसी को हम लाइन कहते हैं. ये जो लाइन है ये भी एक स्ट्रेट फिगर है ना. जिस तरीके से यहाँ पे स्ट्रेट फिगर बन गई, ये भी तो स्ट्रेट फिगर है. ये भी स्ट्रेट फिगर थी, मगर किन से बनी थी? कोलिनियर पॉइंट से. कोलिनियर पॉइंट से. और ये भी तो स्ट्रेट फिगर है जिसको हम लाइन कहते हैं. ये भी तो स्ट्रेट फिगर है. क्या ये भी कोलिनियर पॉइंट से बना हुआ है? हाँ, ये भी कोलिनियर पॉइंट से बना हुआ है. लाइन इज मेड अप ऑफ, line is a straight figure. A line is made up of collinear points. How many collinear points? कितने collinear points से ये straight figure बन चुकी है? बहुत सारे. Unlimited collineर points are there, isn't it? तो हम कहेंगे a line is a straight figure, या हम कहेंगे line is a figure. Line is a figure made up of infinitely. Infinitely का मतलब हुआ लातेदाद. लातेदाद जिनको हम काउंट ही नहीं कर सकते हैं. जिस तरह से रेत का ढेर होता है, उसमें जो रेत के ढेर में जो छोटे छोटे दाने होते हैं, छोटे छोटे दाने होते हैं, उनको हम काउंट कर सकते हैं. हम तो एक मुट्ठी भर रेत में दाने गिन नहीं सकते हैं. एक मुट्ठी भर रेत जो हमारे पास होगी, उसमें कितने दाने हैं वो हम काउंट नहीं कर सकते हैं. तो रेत के ढेर में हम कैसे दाने काउंट करें? बहुत मुश्किल है, बहुत मुश्किल है, बहुत ज़्यादा मुश्किल है. तो ये जो लाइन है इसमें पॉइंट्स है, इसमें पॉइंट्स है. कौन से पॉइंट्स है? दिस आर कोलिनियर पॉइंट्स बिकॉज दिस इज अ स्ट्रेट फिगर. स्ट्रेट फिगर बनती है कोलिनियर पॉइंट से. मगर कितने कोलिनियर पॉइंट्स हैं? इनफिनाइटली many collinear points joined together. बहुत सारे कोलिनियर पॉइंट्स तो है, मगर joined together, वो आपस में जुड़े हुए हैं. ठीक. Line is a figure made up of infinitely many collinear points. Line एक फिगर है, या हम कहेंगे straight figure है. Line is a straight figure, या line is a figure made up of infinitely many collinear points joined together. Line एक ऐसी फिगर है जो बहुत सारे कोलिनियर पॉइंट्स से बना हुआ है, मगर वो कोलिनियर पॉइंट्स आपस में जुड़े हुए हैं. लाइन इज अ फिगर मेड अप ऑफ इनफिनाइटली मनी कोलिनियर पॉइंट्स जॉइंड टुगेदर. ओके. तो थोड़ा हम आगे बढ़ते हैं, बात करते हैं इंटरसेक्टिंग लाइन्स की. ठीक. इंटरसेक्टिंग लाइन्स. देखिए, यहां पे मैंने एक लाइन एक डाली और यहाँ से मैं एक और लाइन डाल रहा हूँ. ओके, दिस लाइन L और लाइन M. तो इन दो लाइन्स को, यानी लाइन L और लाइन M को हम इंटरसेक्टिंग लाइन्स कहेंगे. ठीक, क्यों कहेंगे इनको हम इंटरसेक्टिंग लाइन्स? क्योंकि ये आपस में एक दूसरे को कट कर रहे हैं. लाइन L इज कटिंग लाइन M एंड लाइन M इज कटिंग लाइन L. ये एक दूसरे को कट कर रहे हैं. तो 2 और मोर, 2 या 2 से ज्यादा भी हो सकते हैं. ठीक है, देखिए इन सभी लाइन्स को हम इंटरसेक्टिंग लाइन्स कहेंगे क्योंकि ये आपस में इंटरसेक्ट कर रही हैं. या ऐसे भी डाल सकते हैं. बिल्कुल, ये 3 लाइनें हैं. चलिए, लाइन L, लाइन M, लाइन N, ये एक दूसरे को इंटरसेक्ट कट कर रही हैं. तो हम इन लाइन्स को भी इंटरसेक्टिंग लाइन्स कह सकते हैं. ये 2 लाइनें इंटरसेक्ट हो रही है, कट हो रही है. ये 3 लाइनें कट हो रही है. हो सकता है 4 हो, 5 हो, 6 हो, 8 हो, 10 हो. तो 2 और मोर लाइन्स आर called intersecting lines if they cut each other. 2 or more lines are called intersecting lines if they cut each other. 2 या 2 से ज्यादा लाइनों को हम intersecting lines कहेंगे अगर वो आपस में कट हो रही है. If they cut each other, अगर वो आपस में एक दूसरे को कट करेंगे तो हम intersecting lines कहेंगे. Line L and line M are intersecting lines. Line L, line M and line N are intersecting lines. तो इसके बाद हम बात करेंगे parallel lines की. वो हम नेक्स्ट लेक्चर में करेंगे. parallel lines के बारे में बात करेंगे. ठीक है, तो आज हमने ज़्यादा फोकस किया लाइन पे और इंटरसेक्टिंग लाइन्स पे. और कल जो हमारा लेक्चर होगा, लेक्चर नंबर 3, वो होगा पैरेलल लाइन्स के बारे में. और फिर आगे देखते हैं, एंगल्स के बारे में भी बात करनी है, और नेक्स्ट लेक्चर में होगी इंशाल्लाह. खुदा हाफिज़, अल्लाह हाफिज़.